After 3 years out of business in South Africa, Asian airline Cathay Pacific has once again resumed business in the country. The company says its return comes as South Africa's travel and tourism sector is steadily recovering from the blow it was dealt by the pandemic, with more travellers visiting the country and 23 new routes being introduced. eNCA's business anchor Rofhiwa Madzena spoke to Cathay Pacific's Rakesh.
Let's talk about the ticket sales and prices after the route was relaunched in March. What trends are you seeing in this space?
What we've seen globally now, the ticket prices are slightly on the higher side. And I think it's quite a lot to do with the function of demand and supply. Demand is strong. There's a massive pent-up demand we've seen over a period of time as flights have resumed. And the supply hasn't been as much as it has been pre-COVID. There's a constraint on the supply side. So ticket price generally slightly more higher than the pre-COVID levels, and we expect those ticket prices to be on a similar level at least going forward for another 3-4 months or 6 months until things normalize again. We've also seen a lot of inflationary pressure on the airlines, and especially everything that touches the airline in terms of supply chain has been more expensive than what it was pre-COVID. So all in all, I think the prices of the tickets are slightly more higher, and it's mainly due to the high demand and less supply in the market.
What have you found to be the travellers' behaviours post the COVID-19 pandemic? Have you found that more and more people are taking advantage of the lack of COVID-19 restrictions?
We're seeing demand picking up largely on the leisure side, and also on the VFR or the ethnic side, less so on the corporate side. But you can see now corporate also has started to pick up slowly, but much more demand on the ethnic VFR and leisure side. And so is the case for inbound into South Africa. In fact, inbound South Africa has already got back to the 2018 levels. And 2018 was the peak period for leisure travel into South Africa. And we see the similar levels now coming into South Africa, which is very promising.
And then let's talk about the trends for travelling in South Africa specifically. How important a market has South Africa become, and are you seeing a big appetite that Cathay can take advantage of?
Yeah, South Africa is an important market for us. We've been operating in South Africa for many years. In fact, it took us 3 years to get back to South Africa. So really excited. And also at the same way, we're really excited to see the demand from South Africa. Our first few flights are completely full out of South Africa, and we expect that demand to continue. We're right now operating about 3 flights a week, and we're keenly looking at how the demand progresses, and hopefully by next year we'll have our pre-COVID levels back in South Africa.
And then we saw recently SAA had 51% of its stake bought by a consortium, Takatsu Consortium. Your thoughts on competition in the aviation space and how it benefits travellers or the consumers?
Yeah, I would say competition is good. Yeah, it benefits everyone in the longer run. We've been operating in Hong Kong. It's a free market when you look at it, and we face stiff competition from every other airline operating into Hong Kong. So we are not new to competition. And I think from a pure customer's point of view, it's always good. More options, and when you have more options, the prices also become even more competitive. So all in all, it's good for the customer. They'll have more options, more frequencies, and so on.